Hey everyone, thank you for clicking on my video. My name is Lou, and today I'm just going to give you a quick little review on the first two episodes of the new Baki series, which is based on the manga Baki, Son of Ogre. Just really quick disclaimer, there will be full spoilers in the first two episodes. I'm only going over the first two episodes, so you've been warned. So if you like, you can click off, go ahead and watch it, then come back if you'd like to, and just if you want to hear the opinions of somebody who is a martial artist as well as somebody who's been a fan of Baki for 12 years now? Yeah, I want to say 12 years. With all that out of the way, let's just jump right in. Okay, so, real fast. I never thought in my lifetime that this manga would ever be adapted. I believe I read it back in around 2013, maybe 2012, and I had no hopes that this would be animated after they pretty much just did their one and done with the original series, and that pretty much just ended. Set up for season 2, season 3, or even a season 4 as we're technically on now. So I'm gonna go ahead and say I have a little bit of a bias when it comes to this series and the show because, like I said, I've been a fan for damn near 12 years, maybe even longer than that. I have to go back. Some of this might just be me gushing, but I will try to be as objective as possible. We start this series off with just like pretty much what we always start the series off, which is always a hype moment. The hype moment this season was the Jurassic elephant. So we start off with a press conference in regards to the death of dozens of people and the death of this super elephant. Basically the elephant the size of a dinosaur. So we start this press conference with one of pretty much the sole survivor of the attack that the giant elephant had done. And he was basically describing to the press that, hey, we need to take this thing out because it was a danger to the ecosystem as well as everything else involved, as well as other humans. The press was like, well, did you need to use excessive force, yada, yada, yada. Basically a bunch of bleeding hearts. And then like, why did you have to kill it? And he's like, we didn't kill it. You saw that there's nobody else who's alive. Basically breaks it down to is that there was one man who came out of nowhere and murdered this thing. Now, if you're new to the Baki series, you pretty much like go, oh man, one man did this. Beat around the bush. It was Yujiro Hanma, the biggest goddamn the biggest goddamn example of toxic masculinity I've ever seen. Like, this dude is so toxic, but I love him so much. He's my absolute favorite character. Basically what it breaks down to, he wouldn't kill his damn giant ass elephant for fun. A reporter, she was asking like, you really expect us to believe that one man came out of nowhere and murdered this elephant by himself? It almost took me out of it because I forget that in the Baki universe or Baki world, Yujiro is seen kind of like as an urban legend, whereas like he's real, but he's like more of like a Jason Voorhees is a Crystal Lake, except with the entire world. Him just showing up and murdering a giant elephant is normal for like Baki stands or fans of the series, but I guess I never thought like put 2 plus 2 together because I'm just so used to him doing outrageous stuff that I didn't even think about, oh, well, nobody else really knows who Yujiro is. And so the episode just picks up and like, he leaves the press conference. He goes, nah, you know what? You don't believe me? I don't care. Whatever. And he leaves. And they're just like, well, you can't expect us to believe that, yada, yada, yada. And his son's like, I believe you, even though, people are teasing me. And he's like, no, son, like, I wasn't lying. He's like, I know you weren't lying. So was he really that strong? And he smiles at his son and says, oh yeah, he was that strong. It showed like what he did to the elephant. And I was like, God damn. He brutally like murdered this thing. He didn't like just one punch and kill it or stab, do anything crazy like that. No, he brutalized this damn elephant. Like, I was sitting there thinking like, damn, I can't believe he beat this thing this bad. Like, he ripped his trunk in half, I believe, like split his fucking skull, broke a leg. I think it had some fractured ribs. Like, it looked like it was torn out from the inside out. It was like, good God, Jiro's just toxic and he's just the worst human being. But God, I fucking love him. I wish he was my dad. But if Yujiro is my dad, whatever. Alright, so then we go from Yujiro basically being Yujiro to Baki, we go to this kid. I'm not gonna remember his name. I'll put his name up here somewhere along with a picture of him. Honestly, this kid he's nothing to me. He's basically a one-off because he doesn't show up after this little mini portion of the arc. So he gets bullied, and bullied. Like, they basically saying that they're bullying him so bad that they won't be surprised if he self-harms himself. because YouTube, can't say certain words. Anyway, so we pick up on this kid and like he's getting bullied into like going to fight the strongest high schooler for who the strongest high school kid is. Anyway, he gets bullied and he goes to the high school and he has a little knife and he's like, I want to fight the strongest. And the other guy's like, they're laughing at him like, okay, you want to fight the strongest? Cool. Meet him at the riverbank at like 3 o'clock. He'll be there. So he goes to the riverbank and he waits for Baki, and then Baki shows up just he just appears basically, and he's like, oh, so you want to fight me? He's like, okay. He takes his jacket off. See, this is where I kind of get taken out of it. So you're a kid, all right? You got a knife in your hand. You're told to fight a big, one of the strongest teenagers. Now Baki, he's probably roughly 5'6", maybe 5'7", so he's not a big, like, tall dude. He looks pretty small. He has a very, very soft features. But then he took his jacket off, and you see the mountain of muscle that's hiding underneath that. You go, okay. So me personally, I don't want to smoke. I'm an adult and I still don't want to smoke. So Baki poses up like he stances up real fast to fight this kid. Like, oh, he couldn't, like, he can't be serious. He's not really gonna fight me. And they do this really badass like image of Baki's face, and I'll put it up here as well. That Baki just glared at this kid, and it was, oof, man. it made my heart skip a little bit. I was like, damn, they really animated that well. He's like, hey, can you swim? So he basically slaps this kid's ass and skips him like a rock across a little riverbank. That's it. Like, he just slaps the kid and he's like, no, come on, don't play. Like, stop. And then he picks the kid up and says, okay, now we're friends, which is a weird take. Even though it happened in the manga and I read it so many years ago, I still think to myself, like, that was super weird. Like, he just became friends with a 12-year-old, but whatever. Anyway, he starts talking to the kid about, like, he thinks the kid has a lot of strength and how he's much stronger than his bullies are, how they don't have what it takes to face him. He describes to this kid about how he's gonna have a fight with his dad, and like how strong his dad is and how his dad killed a prehistoric elephant. Baki's like, well, I guess I gotta fight something stronger than a prehistoric elephant. I'm skipping around a lot, but pretty much not a lot of important things happen, except he shadow fights or shadow boxes Mike Tyson, which they call Iron Michael in the dub. Anyway, he fights Iron Michael. He does an illegal move, a kick, and the kid calls him out on it. And he's like, yeah, but it is what it is. So then we go straight to episode 2. And episode 2 is basically Baki versus an imaginary or a 200-pound praying mantis. And to me, this is the best fight of this arc. I love the fights that come on later, but to me, I just love the way this fight like takes place and how he explains why this opponent he's fighting is so dangerous. Into one of my big pet peeves. I don't like, CGI or 3D, whatever they got, like computer images that pull up when they have to showcase certain things. And I hate it in Super. I hate it in a lot of One Piece movies that they have like recently. I don't like it. Just stop being lazy and animate it. Don't be a dickhead. So they did that with the praying mantis, but the fact that Baki's choreography and the way that he looked just kept me sucked in. It was awesome. Like, it was spectacular. He fought this giant praying mantis, and like he discovered that, he started using praying mantis style. Like, okay, I can't really hurt it with just fists or kicks. I need to use its own tools against it. He started using praying mantis style. Then he used crane, and then basically it boiled down to Baki just bullying this thing. I don't know, man. Like, concepts like that are amazing to me, especially like as somebody who does shadow boxing or who has trained on their, like, been training for a couple years now. I don't think about that kind of stuff. I imagine an opponent, but he's always faceless. So to me, that's really, really cool. Anyway, I just had to gush over this. I'm about to go and watch episode 3 and 4. Probably have a review up after this one. It's starting off pretty strong. It's hype. And I know where it's going. I cannot wait. And yeah, hopefully you stick around with me. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you wouldn't mind, please leave a like as well as subscribe. And I will catch you later. Peace.